Thank you so much, Yasmin, and happy Monday, everyone. I am super excited for today because we're talking about one of my favorite platforms, Google Business Profiles. But we're going to dive a little bit deeper into promoting that business profile. So we've talked about optimizing it. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, and hopefully you've taken some of the key points that we've been training on and implemented them into your Google Business Profile as well. But maybe you just want to get a little bit more ahead of the curve and start promoting it via ads. So we're going to go through what I'm going to call the kind of the express way to promote these ads. We're going to dive super deep into Google Business or just Google Ads in general, pay-per-click ads, because it gets a little technical. So we're going to save that for Q1 of next year to dive a little bit deeper in that. But this will be a great start to see how you can promote your Google Business Profile and what that looks like. As I said earlier, this is the last EOG University training of the year. Can we even believe it? But I just about got January finalized, so I will get that over to the team and up on this site, eoguniversity.com, so that you guys can start registering for those. One is I'm actually going to have a guest speaker. He is the founder of this platform. And I was introduced to him by a team here in Phoenix, Arizona. If you don't know, I'm based out of Arizona here. And I was introduced to him, and he was telling me about this platform he's been developing. He's a developer over in San Francisco, and I was blown away. This is absolutely something I'm so excited to see come to fruition. It's literally putting your social media on autopilot, meaning that it connects, it pretty much eliminates like the ChatGPT AI effect. It eliminates like the Hootsuite or the auto posting to your social media profile. It pretty much eliminates Canva because it will assemble all of these posts based on what you are feeding it, other articles, your reviews, lots of other things, tons of automation. They even do videos and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to give you guys a little preview. This is one of the guest speakers we'll probably have on probably mid-January. I'll let you guys know on that schedule, but I just wanted to get this out to everybody so you can at least take a look at it. I'm going to throw it in the chat box just so you can kind of, in your spare time, review it and see. But I'm super excited to just see technology and AI and all that stuff kind of move forward and just find ways that can help alleviate those pain points in our business, especially as we move forward, so we can focus more on consumers and helping them find and sell their homes. All right, Google Business Profiles. I'm going to pop over to here to my profile that I use for trainings, just for a quick overview. And just to reiterate, right, we've talked a lot about Google Business Profiles and how important they are for your business. Couple things. Don't forget, Google Business Profiles are starting to get more traffic than your websites. So if they're fully optimized, you're working them, it's just not static, don't be surprised that you start to get more traffic here than your website. And the reason being is because, right, we're going to Google Maps and a lot of different search engines and things like that to be able to find services, to be able to find professionals, just like restaurants, just like retail stores, and a lot of other items like that. So couple of things for optimizing. Make sure you guys are adding additional photos and videos, right? Don't just check the box in 2024. The same goes for your social media. Same goes for posting a blog on your website. Same goes for if you're going to jump into video marketing. Don't just check a box, but be intentional. Be intentional. Give the reader, give the consumer, whoever is visiting your profile in your digital ecosystem, something tangible that kind of sucks them in and gets them down that rabbit hole so they don't go anywhere else. So photos and videos are important. You want to make sure you're constantly uploading, whether it's new listing photos or it's photos of you out in the field or walkthroughs or closing, photos with clients. Make sure you get permission. Tons of things, maybe hiking trails, new local businesses, your video walkthrough tours, everything should be added here as well. Don't forget, maybe one key takeaway is changing the file names of the media that you guys upload to the internet, meaning When you take a photo, remember it has some like IMG, bunch of letters and numbers or something crazy for the actual file name. And you can increase your ranking in SEO by changing that file name to maybe Ed Sells SoCal, or Justin Real Estate Phoenix, Arizona, or 123 East Main Street, or something that can be connected to you in real estate and gives the platform that you're uploading it to something to understand what is in that photo, right? Because then you can start ranking in Google images and videos and YouTube, and it just helps elevate your SEO power on the internet. Reviews, remember, reviews are super important. Reply to your reviews. Okay, don't just ask for that review and let it go there. Reply to those reviews. If your client or whoever is leaving that review did not leave geographic location in that review, like Justin was super awesome at helping me sell my home in Phoenix, Arizona, right? In that reply, if they did not leave a geographic location in your reply, you're going to say, it was so awesome to be able to help you and your family find that home in Irvine, California, or San Diego, wherever it may be, right? Put in geographic location as much as you can, anywhere you can, right? In those keywords, it's super, super important. And if you're struggling to increase your reviews, don't forget how many people are involved in a transaction. It's not just your client or clients, it's the agent on the other side. It's escrow, it's your lender, it's the inspection company, it's lots of people are involved in this transaction. Don't be afraid to ask for that other agent if it was a good experience, of course. Whoever you're asking for the review, you want to make sure it's a good experience, because obviously we don't want them to leave a negative review. But even if they do, reply to that review. But there are several opportunities in every transaction to be able to get a review, multiple reviews. So that also goes hand in hand in helping you rank higher in your Google business profile. Couple of other things real quick before we actually do a walkthrough, because quite frankly, the walkthrough doesn't take very long. I'm giving you guys the expressway because I am all about making it digestible and easy as possible for you guys to be able to take action today, to be able to start doing this today. So we're not going to super complicate it. But a couple of items here. Remember, edit products and services. And just so you know, how did I get here? Well, I'm logged into my Google account that I can that manages this profile. How do I go there? Well, I'm just going to go to google.com/business. It's going to ask me to sign in or manage now. If you already have one, you can click manage now. It's going to auto log me in, whichever Gmail account is overseeing this. This is the one I use for training. So I'm going to click on it. And this is how I got to my screen. So just remember, google.com/business manage now is how I got here. Two of these items here, edit products and edit services. Don't be afraid to add products in here. Be the first. Lots of agents in our service industry are not leveraging these because we don't think we sell products. Sure, we don't sell candles or food or whatever it may be, but we sell homes. And in products, we can add in homes with the pool, homes for sale between 500,000 and 750,000. I was doing trainings in Vegas, homes for sale in North Las Vegas, right? And when they click on these, it's going to take them to a landing page, right, through your IDX website so they can search those homes, right? So if you're saying homes for sale 500,000 to 750,000, you want to make sure that that's what you're sending them. And let me see if I actually did that here. Yep, that was a different link. But you want to actually put that link in there, right? You're not going to say homes for sale 500,000 to 750,000 and it goes to your blog. Okay, that could be a separate post. But for products, you want to do different types of criteria in homes, maybe homes on the golf course, homes with a pool, homes with an ocean view, homes near schools, or whatever it may be, right? And you can have several products in your Google business profile. Okay, so this is one way you can easily optimize your profile for the new year to be able to rank higher. The more information, the more items you fill out in your Google business profile, the better Google is going to treat you and help you rank higher. So when people are doing searches for homes, they come across your profile, all of a sudden they're looking at products, or you're fully optimized. You have posts on here. Let let me see. I think I have to say view all to see the post. But yeah, you have posts on here about several different things, whether it's real estate related or local market related, things that little articles that they can read. But then there's products that they can actually start clicking on, and then it takes them to your IDX website where they can actually search different homes. Okay, so you want to make sure you're leveraging that products. The other one is services, right? What different services do we offer? You want to make sure that you come in here during your online presence audit. Should be once a quarter. If you haven't done one for Q4, you're running out of time. You got to do it in the next couple of weeks. But the reason why you want to come in and audit this is because look here, Google starts to make decisions on behalf of you because we love that. But you can come in here and edit this. So services were changed based on feedback from Google users. So you can edit, remove certain things. I don't do residence mortgages or mortgage insurance. Sure, it's in our industry, but we don't personally do it. Okay. So I want to go through and make sure all these different services are optimized. I'm adding them in here. So if you work with rentals, investors, relocation, selling, buying, virtual tours, probably horse property, right? Different things like that. You want to make sure that your services are optimized. But products for sure. This is where I'm seeing a lot of agents being able to elevate their profile fairly quickly. And the other one is updates. So remember I said those little micro blogs or posts similar to social media posts down here. Let's see, I did a couple on some training examples, but this one's about social media and how powerful it can be in driving more traffic to your listing. So how we leverage that. And some other items about Phoenix, Arizona, and why it's important. These can be pieces of blogs that you're already posting on your website. These could be just the social media posts that you guys are already posting on your social media platforms. Come to your Google business profile and add it in here as well, okay? And you can add call to action buttons. Maybe it's learn more, shop now is usually an option, but I don't see it here anymore. But learn more is a great one, call now, all that kind of stuff. But posts are super important. Remember, I always say, don't just check a box in 2024. You have to be active. If you went and you created a Google business profile and you don't go back to it or you forget about it and you don't see it again for 9 months, that is going to hurt you tremendously in your digital ecosystem. Don't just check the box. Don't wake up in the morning and say, what am I going to post on social media today? Oh, I'm just going to take a quick meme or a photo of a house or something and just add some emojis, right? Bulk up the content in there. Be intentional about what you're posting. What do you want to educate the consumer on about that? And again, it doesn't just have to be real estate related. It could be anything in your local market, new businesses, hiking, schools, different beaches. You guys have tons and tons of outdoor activities there. Share that with people. And you can mix that into but be intentional. Be intentional in 2024 so that you can stand out more and provide those consumers or people that are looking for your service more value so they can connect with you and end up working with you as well. So just wanted to give you guys a quick few optimizing tips and some strategies for the new year before we jumped into actually running an ad for this. So remember I said you're going to go to google.com/business. You can either sign in or manage now. Virtually, they take you to the same spot. But if you haven't signed up for a Google business profile, you're missing out. So you definitely want to sign up for that. You're going to click manage now if you already have one. Typically, you're probably not going to have more than two, but these are just some demo. This is an actual agent one, but these are just some demos that I do for training. So I'm just going to click that one, and it takes us right back to that screen where we are. Now, as I stated earlier, this is going to be, quote unquote, the expressway, okay? The way to get you from A to B the quickest. Later on, we will dive into deeper Google pay-per-click ads or PPC ads, which goes, a little bit more in depth, okay? There's a lot more technical stuff to it, but an easy way to start having your Google business profile show up or rank higher and show up in the top few places is once you're here, there's a little advertise button in the upper right corner of all these button options. From there, you're going to click that advertise button It's going to take you right into ads.google. Okay. And it's going to ask you a couple questions. You see this bar up here? It's going to step you through that process. And it will, basically we're going to step through this. Let me check the chat. Someone, Carrie asked, when are you teaching about pay-per-click ads? That's probably going to be towards the end of January or the first week of February for that one. Just depends. But it will be for sure January, early February. So let's get started. Set up your campaign quickly. It's going to ask you if you have more than one profile. It's going to ask you which one you have. Otherwise, it's just going to have yours. So you may not see this drop down. It may just show your profile, which is okay. But just know if you have more than one, it's going to ask you which one. From there, you're just going to click next. And now it's going to ask you where you want people to go after clicking your ad. Where do you want people to go after clicking your ad? And quite frankly, we want them to go to our business profile, which is why I wanted to quickly summarize why it's important for you to optimize your Google business profile. You want to make sure that you look active on that profile so that people can be able to connect with you and read more about you and all the different value points that you have and educational parts. So Carrie, this is recorded, so it will be up by tomorrow morning on EOG's YouTube channel. So if you go to eoguniversity.com, I'm going to click view library. It's going to take you to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. I'm just going to post this in the chat for everyone. All of our trainings are recorded and posted on that YouTube channel within 24 hours. So we want people to go to our Google business profile. There's nothing wrong with having them go to your website. You just put your website in there. But I want to drive more people to my Google business profile because consumers we're constantly evolving. And as I stated earlier, your Google business profile is starting to get more traffic than actual websites. Okay. And it's a third party. People trust Google. So we're going to drive traffic to our Google business profile. I'm going to click next. And it optimizes for your ads. You want to know why? Because it has a lot of information. It already has a lot of demographics on who's going to your Google business profile and the content that you're actually posting there. So after I click that, I'm going to click next. It's scanning for just some information on there. It's going to pull some different photos. You can see this little line here. If a consumer actually saw that, they could click through those photos. That's why it's important to have multiple photos or videos. Look here, they can see the about, location, photos, posts, services, all those products, everything that we're talking about optimizing, they can actually see on that profile. All right, hold on. I'm going to say wait, and hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. Maybe I have too many tabs open. All right, I'm going to refresh and see what happens. Come on. All right, let me exit page and see if we can go back in. Manage now. Remember, we are on our profile. I'm going to click advertise, this little advertise icon. Okay, your business profile, we're good with that. We're going to cross our fingers. It's so wonderful because you notice this chat box keep popping up, right? And there's a phone number. So this is all revealed once you start paying Google money. And I'm saying that comically because as we know, most platforms, Facebook, even Google, right? Trying to get your campaign or trying to get say you got your profile banned or something was going on, getting a hold of them is very difficult. However, when it starts to involve money, sure, we're here to help. So just know if you needed any additional questions, something, you can always reach out to them. So mobile and desktop, different versions. You can see the different versions there. It's just giving you a little preview, but I'm going to go ahead and click next. And it's going to ask you what your goal is, okay? And this is really up to you. So do you want to get more calls? Do you want to get more website sales or leads, traffic to your site? We don't really have a physical location. Yes, we have hang our brokerage or hang our license with the brokerage, but it's not like a retail location where somebody's going to end up going there and shopping, right? We need to talk to them first. And then if you wanted to drive more traffic to your YouTube videos or YouTube channel, you can certainly do that as well. But today we're going to stick with get more calls because ultimately we want our phone to ring. We want to get more phone calls for our service. So we're going to stick with that there at the top. I'm going to click next. and it's time to write your ad. So this is why I'm showing you guys the express version of this. Okay, it's a lot easier because if we dived into the Google ad platform, it gets very clunky. It gets very deep. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, but we are going to train on the deeper level as well. Okay, so now it's time to write your ad. So notice here we have some headlines on the left side. This is everything that we can customize. And on the right side is our preview of the ad. So just so you know, headlines are going to show where it's clickable, where it looks like it's hyperlinked. That's where it shows, okay? And the description shows below it, just below there. And then, of course, we chose for them to call our business. Now, you have 3 defaulted headlines. However, I would change these because you want to make sure that, you know, some already look super local, but you want to update these. The more headlines and more descriptions that you add gives Google more combinations to be tested, which just allows them to test different versions of this ad, right? All 3 headlines aren't necessarily going to show up at the same time. They're going to test different ones. Whichever one performs better, gets more calls or clicks, they're going to double down on that. Same for description. They're going to kind of play in what we would call in the digital marketing world, A/B test kind of, to see which one's going to perform better. And then you're going to see all of those results, but Google is going to double down on that, okay? So it defaults to 3, okay? But you can always add a 4th headline if you wanted to give them another option. If not, you just click in that box and click the X and it removes it. Same for description. If you wanted to add a 3rd description, you could certainly do that. Otherwise, click in the box, click the X, and you can remove that there. Now we're going to actually type in some stuff here, but at the bottom, what is your call to action button? Well, it is our phone number, right? Because that's what we chose in the beginning to be able to run these ads. That was our CTA, call to action. So of course, you're going to put in your phone number in there so it can display here, as you see on the right side, to call that business. So let's talk about some headlines. Again, these show up in the hyperlinked area here. This is actually what they can click on. That's going to take them to what we told Google to do, is to your Google business profile. So search all Gilbert Homes is not bad, right? That's here locally. So maybe it's Irvine. And you only have 30 characters. They are going to give you some suggestions. However, I think that you can be a little bit more specific and local. Remember, I talk a lot about geographic location. It is so, so important for the consumer to feel and have that emotional local connection that you are actually working in their area. So you don't want to just do California real estate services, right? You want to be super local. If you are focused in Irvine, then promote your ads in Irvine or whatever area you may be looking at. So for instance, if I do Irvine, search Irvine real estate, we're Steve Lettuce, okay? We're at 25 out of 30. So you could do that there. In here, you could do, properties in Irvine, California, maybe something like that, right? Be specific with, I would say, geographic location. You can even say real estate agent in, if it'll even give you that reference, right? 20 out of 10, Irvine. Okay. Really, you can add pretty much what you wanted here if it fits these criteria. Just be strategic, right? Kind of think about it. Make sure you're being super local, super hyper specific on that location, but also what are they going here to look for? They're either looking to sell their home or they're looking to buy property. So you want to make sure that you're putting those headlines in there so that your ad performs well. Now, if somebody was selling, you could say realtor or real estate agent near me, right? Things that people are searching for when they're doing this. So realtor, you could say Irvine. And I know a lot of agents do this, right? Number one, depending on your sales and all that stuff, maybe you put some stats in there, right? That's more focused on generating those listings, which obviously we want more of. So you can be creative with what you want to put in here and what will show up in that ad performance. So I'm going to go back here and I'm just going to say search Irvine real estate. Okay, we're going to stick with that. Again, they give you some suggestions, but I think you should be a little bit more specific in that. So we can always add a fourth if we wanted to. So if you wanted to go in there, we're not going to for today's purpose, but you can always add a fourth. Again, it's not going to use all of these at the same time. It's going to test which one performs better, which will give you more bang for your buck. Okay, so they're going to be able to figure out which one's going to perform better, which one consumers like, and then they're going to double down on that. Okay, so those are the headlines. Okay, hyperlinked headlines. Now down to the description, a couple of options, the same thing. They will give you some suggestions. Maybe they want to, find the house of your dreams, right? All that kind of stuff. Now down in the description, they give you more characters. So instead of 30 for the headline, you get 60 for the description. Okay, so you can be a little bit more specific. So in this one, I have, let us help you find your new Gilbert, Arizona home. That was for here in the Valley. So we could put, find your new home in Irvine, California today. Maybe something like that. Okay, and you will always be able to see it in the preview. And this one says, this one was already in there. Let us simplify the process of finding a home that suits your taste and budget. Okay, not bad, but I'd probably, again, be a little bit more specific in the location. And again, they give you some suggestions here. So another one for finding a home could be, let us, and just so you guys know, it's just standard practice when you're running any type of Google ad to capitalize the first letter of each word. Okay, even like in and all that stuff. It looks better. They perform better. It's been proven and tested that they perform better. So that's why Google defaults always the first letter capitalized. So it's a great practice to go ahead and do that. Even like this one in here, I didn't capitalize. So I would go in and make sure that that's all good there. Okay. And let us help you find your new home in beautiful Irvine, California. Something like that. Okay. Now, if you wanted to add a third, okay, because they're going to test all these descriptions and headlines, you can always add a third one in here if you wanted to as well. Thank you, Ed. I really appreciate you. Okay, so if you wanted to add a third description, you absolutely can. So for instance, if we were gonna do this more geared towards listings, okay, we could say, sell your home in Irvine. Learn how you can sell your home in Irvine, California, and drive. I'm going to do it this way. Learn how you can drive more traffic when selling your home in Irvine, California. Okay, so here, if you're talking about listings, we're going to promote our value proposition. What is it that we do? Do we master digital marketing, and that's how we drive more traffic to a listing? Or your whatever your value proposition is, right? We have to have a unique value proposition. And what value do you bring? How many years of experience do you have? All that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind when you're actually creating these different descriptions and headlines. Okay. So again, headlines, they give you 4. You can always add a 4th. We're not going to today, but you can give 4. They're not going to use all of them. They're going to test them. Whichever one works better and outperforms the others is what will start showing up. Descriptions the same way. They default to 3, but you can add another one in there as well, 4th. Okay. You need at least 2. You need at least 2 in there. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now we have our little preview over here. You can kind of click through and see the different options, combinations of what they're thinking in there. And then if you scroll down, we already talked about the call to action button, but it's the phone number. So you got to make sure your phone number is in there. If you wanted more information on how to write successful ads, they give you some tips, some keyword search options as well. You can click this link and it will give you a little bit more knowledge on that as well. Once you're good with this, you've got your headlines, your descriptions, everything's looking good to you, you feel great about it, you're going to scroll down and click next, and it's going to take us to our keyword themes. Okay, the selected keyword themes are, this is basically the keywords that we are going to be bidding on. So for instance, if I do realtor near me, a couple things. Just because you're running an ad does not mean that you're going to show up here. This just is part of the algorithm on different reviews, tons of different things. And it's based on location, okay? Because look, Real Estate Agents Gilbert, it knows I'm sitting in Gilbert, Arizona at the moment, okay? So it's going to be based on that. But if you scroll down, notice that some of these map searches is sponsored, okay? So you can kind of see where those are showing up. So if I did realtor near me, or if I did Gilbert homes for sale, I don't know, I'm just thinking of some things. That's not going to rank in maps. Search Gilbert homes. Okay, so now we're starting to see a little bit more movement there. Just know that your Google map, this is a more of a pay-per-click. Okay, these up here, these top 2 to 3, and these are much more expensive. Okay, typically these cost a lot more money than what we're doing. So that's why though ranking in your Google Maps is more important, because it's more cost effective and that's where people are. But you want to be conscious on what people are actually searching for. So realtor near me, houses, people are looking for houses, buyer's agent, maybe an agency, real estate listings, of course. I'm going to remove agency because technically we're not. Gilbert real estate, absolutely. I'm not going to do apartments. Real estate valuations, maybe. Real estate agents online, real estate agent. You can always add additional keywords, and there's some additional ones down here. So maybe home selling websites. If you did commercial real estate in there, maybe condos you can do, realtor, right? And it's going to know your location. So realtor in your location, which is going to be super awesome. But notice that this popped up, okay? So be conscious that the limit is 7 to 10 keyword themes because they want to be super specific, okay? They want to be super specific. So maybe I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I'll just take out houses because that's very general, okay? But you can go through and add additional keyword themes. You can make up your own. They don't have to be in here. You can just add what you want to be in there, but be intentional. Be strategic about how people are looking in your geographic location, whether you want to focus on buying, people wanting to list, or both. Could be a combination of both. It's up to you, okay? But be strategic. That's all I'm asking. Be strategic and intentional. Advertise in what language? Okay, probably going to be English, but if you speak more than one language, absolutely take advantage of that. Okay, the possibilities are endless, and you may be missing out on that market share. Okay, so if you are fluent in more than one language, 25% of global searches are done in English, meaning 75% are done in a language other than English, which is super powerful. I don't see bilingual agents promoting that enough in their business. And it's a great opportunity. So most times it's going to be English, but if you speak more than one, you definitely want to add, the different language in there. So once you're good with your keyword themes, okay, you're choosing your whatever keywords you're going to be targeting or bidding on. Because remember, there's going to be other agents that are putting these in there. So you guys are going to be bidding on these, on who's going to rank first. And there's a lot that goes into account for that, which is why in the beginning, I talked about making sure your profile is active, making sure that you're posting there, it's optimized. The more optimized and active you are in your Google business profile, the better Google is going to treat you, okay? So once you're good with all this, you're gonna click next. And now we're gonna choose location. So show your ad in the right places, right? So you have two options here. Advertise near an address. It's literally just, I don't even know what address that is, but it just picked that random address here. But if you wanted to put in a specific address, you absolutely can do that. Okay, I'm just typing in a random address. Now, we don't necessarily have a physical location. Yes, we hang our license with a brokerage that has an office, but do we really want to promote that office, right? Is that our area of where we want to work in? Or do I want to be specific with zip code cities or regions? And the answer is yes. So say I just want to specialize in, I know I'm in Gilbert right now, but I'm going to close out of these and say Irvine. Let's just pull that up and see. I'm going to close out of all these. Obviously, you can see you can have multiple. So Irvine, California, right? City. I don't know if there's other zip codes there, right? Maybe I also want to do Newport Beach. Newport, one word. Newport Beach. Okay, California. And now you can see. So you can target very specific. If you just want to do one specific section, you can have multiple. Remember, zip code, city, state, or country, you can advertise in. You want to be local. Now, say that you are promoting for buyers. We know that there's feeder markets, at least here in Arizona, right? California is one of the feeder markets that's moving here. Washington, Illinois. So you guys have to find where those feeder markets are. And maybe you're going to advertise in those locations, right? Because you want to create new buyers. So it doesn't have to be just your local market. It can be those feeder markets where people are starting to search. They're thinking about moving from Colorado to California or wherever it may be. So it's not just where you physically are, it's can be where your potential prospects and buyers are as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. But if you're targeting listings just in Irvine or specific zip code in Irvine, I don't know any off the top of my head, but even if it's just a zip code, Irvine zip code, I'm just going to pull the first one, 92602, 92602, 92602. Okay. And now we get even more specific. Okay. Don't be afraid to be specific. So you can come in here and add in zip code, cities, wherever you want to target. Okay. So I'm going to leave this in here just for today's example. Once you add one or more locations of where you want this ad to show, I'm going to go down and click next. And it gets to Google's favorite screen. And maybe ours, not so much when it comes to expenses. But again, a lot less expensive than your traditional pay-per-click ads, okay, currently. So with all good things, they always get expensive. But I am seeing teams and agents, top agents, running these ads and having phenomenal results. Again, Google business profiles are getting so much traffic that this is a huge way, both organically and paid advertising, to generate more listings. So you're going to select your budget. Select a budget option, which gives you 3 options here, okay, just based on Google, based on your location. There's a lot that goes and factors into the cost of these ad clicks. Geographic location is a big contender, but there's a lot of other different analysis that happens to figure out the cost. So if we wanted to start out at $10.90 a day averaging, meaning sometimes you may be charged $15 for that day, even though you set a max budget of $10.90. Well, if it's performing well, Google's going to let it perform well. And then the next day or 2 days later, it's going to scale back. Okay. So if all of a sudden you're having an uptick, okay, and of course you're going to get notification of that and you're going to see that in the data, but they will let that ad run higher than your daily budget, but then they will scale it back. It will never go over your monthly max. So hopefully that makes sense. And it gives you an estimated estimate for each month. So for this $331 a month, you're going to get between 110 to 260 ad clicks each month, which is pretty great, right? So that do that cost effective. It's very cost effective in terms of digital marketing. Or if you want to go a little bit higher, or whatever you want to put, you can always put in your own budget. So if I clicked your own budget and I wanted my daily to be, I don't know, right? I'm going to spend $1,300 a month and I can get between this, okay? Depends on what your market is. Test it. As we're approaching the end of the year, hopefully you've done your business plan or you're working on it and you're putting dollars to cents and you're figuring out what your marketing budget is. How much are you allocating to digital marketing? How much are you allocating to traditional marketing? How much time are you allocating, right? So as you're going through your business plan and everything, you're going to figure out what that budget looks like. Just know you have two options. You can select one of the pre-selected ones, or you can enter in your own. Depends on. And this is where it says you only pay for clicks on your ad, only when someone clicks your ad. Some days you may spend less than your daily average, and others you might spend more. But over the month, you won't pay more than your monthly max. That's super, super important to know, okay? So some days it may perform well. Google's going to let it perform well and go over that daily average, but it will never go over that monthly. All right, so I'm going to select one of these. I'm going to stick with the 1090 because with everything, right? Walk before you start running, kind of test it out, test the waters. So I'm going to select that one. And when I'm good with that, I'm going to click next. And now we can review our campaign. So on the left side, we have our campaign name, which they're just taking the first headline, but we can always rename it if we wanted to. Your campaign goal, well, we wanted phone calls. Where do we want the traffic to go? Our Google business profile, our business name, our text in the ad copy. So these are our headlines. These are the headlines that we chose. These are the descriptions we chose. They're going to our call to action is a call us. This is a phone number we want it to go to. The locations that we're targeting, whether it's zip code, city, state, our keywords that we are bidding on. These are the items that if they pop up or are relevant to somebody's search, we will then be ranked and show. And then of course our budget, okay? And you can always edit any of these at this stage. And remember on the right side, you can always see the preview. So you can click through these and kind of play. It's going to go through like a little carousel, but you can kind of click through these and see what those will look like. If you're good with everything and you don't need to edit anything, you're going to click next into the last stage. And it's going to confirm payment, which is, again, Google's favorite. But you can select your current time, right, wherever you are. Maybe you guys are LA or PST. And then a lot of times when you sign up for a Google business profile, you get a $500 credit. This is how they kind of incentivize you to spend more money with them. So you may see this in there, you may not. They have several offers all the time. If you've never ran any ads before, more than likely you're going to see this in there. But you get an additional $500 credit when you spend $500. So if you come in here and you spend $500, say for the month or over 2 months, then you will have an additional $500 to be able to use in your ads. It's going to ask you for the payment profile based on your Google account, all this information, but you can always change that in here. And then your payment method, you can change that in there. And there will, of course, will be a $50 authorization on your card. So if you need to change your payment method, you can absolutely do that. And just know that you're going to be charged on the first of each month. It's not like they charge you right away. It's the first of each month or anytime your balance exceeds an amount known as your billing threshold. So when I was actively running these, my balance threshold was $500. So I would not be charged until I hit $500, and then they would charge my card at that point. But again, if you don't reach that threshold, then you're just going to be charged on the first of each month. And then once you're good there, down here, if you wanted a little bit more information on how to maybe optimize this or just talk to a Google Ads expert, you can always opt for them to reach out to you. Just be cautious that, you know, a lot of times they give a lot of good information. They really, really do. But a lot of times, or sometimes, their recommendations are more optimized towards Google's performance in terms of cost. So I just caution you that, of course, with everything, do your own research, test it out, but they are there to help you and give you some good information. So you can always opt for that as well. Once you include your payment profile and select your payment method, you can click submit. Now, I'm not going to click submit on this, but you can click submit. And it goes through an approval process. They're going to make sure the ad is good, all that good stuff, okay? Once it's approved, then it will start. Of course, you're going to get alerted, and then it will start actually running that ad. And once you click submit, you will be back into your ads Google account up here, and you'll be able to see any of the information or data, all that good stuff. So let me just do submit, and no, because it'll charge. So I'm not going to hit submit, but just know once you do, it goes through an approval process. It can take up to 24 hours. I rarely ever see that. Usually it's within the hour that will actually start showing up there. So, but you hit submit, goes through that approval process, and you're off to the races, and your profile is starting to be promoted above all the others, depending on how you're going to show up in that search. Okay. A lot of information, but let me tell you, this is the easiest way to start advertising your Google business profile. This is the express way. Okay. Again, you can go to google.com/business, get into manage your account. You're going to click your profile. From here, you're going to see the advertise. And if you've been in here before, it may already default to what you've previously done, but you can go in and change anything. Okay, so now it's taking us right back here because I haven't submitted, but you can always go back and change anything and go to the very beginning, see here, to change anything that you wanted in that ad. But again, Google Business Profile, once you're in that platform or screen, you can click advertise, and that is your way in. A lot of information, valuable information. Try implementing something in your business in the next few weeks to gear up for 2024, paying advertising to generate new business, and phone calls to your phone, people who are actually searching for your service. This isn't similar to like Facebook ads or anything like that, where it's just going to show up randomly in their feed. This is intent. Okay. That's the difference between social media ads and Google ads. Google ads are intent. Somebody's up here doing a search, or they're on their phone in Maps doing a search. They are interested. They're at some level invested in either buying or selling their home. There's some interest there. As opposed to social media ads, we're paying to have an ad show up in front of people who are just scrolling. We're targeting, we're being strategic, but there's a lot more intent behind these Google business profile ads. So Don said, is there an advantage to having Google Business Profile if I'm not running ads? Absolutely, Don. You don't have to run ads to promote your Google Business Profile. Google Business Profiles are the #1 organic way to generate listing leads. But here's the thing. You have to be active. Do not check the box. Don't just create a Google Business Profile and you forget about it, right? You need to nurture it. You need to grow it. You need to look active. So when people find your profile and it's fully optimized, meaning that they're going and they're looking at your descriptions and your posts, all the posts that you're creating, right? Those micro blogs or social media posts you're putting there, your reviews, you're adding products in here so that they can go in and search for homes. You want to show active. It is an incredibly powerful way to generate more business and increase your online presence now and for the foreseen future for a very long time. Your Google Business Profile is one location in your digital ecosystem. Facebook is another. Instagram is another. Your website is a location. Your YouTube channel. These are all locations that give you the opportunity to meet people who are looking for your service, and they are all free. Cindy asked, how many hours a week do you dedicate to this? Good question. So all in all, online presence and posting, I would say 2 hours. I would say 2 hours. Not a whole lot of time. I mean, 2 hours can be a lot if we're super busy, but we have to work on our business. And again, just like if you had a physical location, say you had a retail location or a Starbucks or a McDonald's or any type of physical location, we have to maintain that location. Maintenance, getting people in the door, right? In our service industry and where consumers are finding us or going first is the internet, right? All of this is your digital ecosystem. So probably a couple hours a week optimizing, posting, and just looking active. That's the biggest thing, looking active. And I'm not saying you need all of these online platforms. You don't have to have necessarily Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google Business Profile, website, right? You don't need to have 30 of these because that's unmanageable, right? Until you get the well-oiled machine going, start with 3. Your Google Business Profile, YouTube, huge. Who owns YouTube? Google, okay? And maybe your website, right? Or Instagram or Facebook. Just know that websites are becoming less and less frequent because all of these different platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, are search engines. People are going there to search things. So if you don't believe me, go to YouTube. I can go to youtube.com, homes for sale in your location, right? Irvine, bam. People are going here to look and find homes. Okay, they're learning more about that area. Maybe they're moving from out of state or out of area. They want to learn more about that. So you don't need to have all 30 platforms. I don't know how many there are. I'm just saying it's a big number that we have to manage. Start with a select few and master those, and then add another, right? And then add another, right? Once you get that down. So very, very important. Let's see. Raymond said, I found combining a vanity URL that matches the farm yields superior results with Google Ads. Absolutely. You were speaking my language, Raymond. So for instance, turtlerockhomes.com, certain subdivision, certain city, certain zip code. I've used them all. I've done like 85295living.com or 85255realestate.com to be if I'm targeting homeowners. Or if you're targeting buyers, yeah, maybe it's irvinerealestate.com, which I guarantee you is taken. But be strategic. Maybe it's a subdivision. Maybe it's a certain location or wherever it is. But those vanity URLs, and the reason why they work is because it looks very much more local, specific. It's personable. So keep that in mind too. There's a lot of different tips and tricks that you can do to kind of make the consumer pull the trigger and get deeper into your ecosystem. All right, guys, that is a lot of information. Remember, this is recorded. It'll be on the YouTube channel within 24 hours. So you can always go back and rewatch that there. I cannot thank you all enough for showing up, even in December, right? November, December, we kind of see a drop off in. I'm a real estate agent too. I get it. Don't even get me started on CE classes and how I always wait to the last minute. But I commend you guys for showing up in these last few months to gear up for 2024. You're the agents that are showing up to work and really just bring better service to your clients and ultimately grow your business. So everyone at Escrow Options Group, we greatly appreciate your partnership, showing up to these trainings, being part of our community, and we are looking forward to 2024, being alongside you all and learning more, growing more, and hopefully seeing you all in escrow very, very soon. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I wish you a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. I hope it's amazing. Have some great times with friends and family. Happy New Year, and we will see you in 2024. All right, guys, have a successful rest of the year. We'll talk soon.